Hey, what is up everybody? Blades for here, and today for you guys another video for Persona 5X. Today's video, guys, we're going to be going ahead and going over the unit review for the man Cherish here, seeing he is next in line being at least the 2.3.2 version character. So if you guys are interested in this, be sure to sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. As always, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. It really does help me out a lot. Now we're coming closer and closer to the global release here, so I am trying to pick up as fast as possible when it comes down to these here. And so the next in line today is going to be this man Cherish. Now Cherish, as many of you do know, is a standard character. He did come out as like a banner that you could just summon with premium currency at first, but they told us ahead of time that hey, he's going to be a standard character, he's going to the standard draw. So obviously if you did decide to at least wait the next version, he was going to be into the standard summon. Now this character took me quite a long time to get, but once I got him, the man won't go away now at this point in time, and he's actually really good. The only downside to at least my man Cherish is, much like other defense-based characters or even some healers out there, we don't really use them too often, and the main reason for that is because there's not anything that's ultra difficult enough to make you want to use a defender or to make you want to use most healers. So he falls in that category a little bit too, though he does bring a lot of things to at least the table. So I mean, all in all, he's not really a bad unit. It just comes down to we don't have enough content that is actually difficult enough to justify in using him. Though of course, if you do just love his design and you want to go ahead and use the character, you very well can do that, because this game isn't ultra meta chasing worthy anyway, so just keep that in mind. But now we went over at least some of the basics for at least the man Cherish here. Let's go ahead and talk more about him in depth, checking out at least his awarenesses. Now I have him at A2 here, but at least the one that we're going to take a look at is going to be A0 first. As for any like dupes that might be worth it, it's kind of hard to say, because I do like this character, but when it does come down to his dupe type section, there's not really a lot, I guess you could say, that I would justify with this character for getting dupe wise. If you wanted to go ahead and get his dupes, I would say the best one is just the A1. It really just adds on an extra little part of his actual passive, allowing him to gain 3 valor, which you guys will understand what that is in a second here. Decrease the valor needed for his justice oath and increase his pin. So I mean, like, it does give him this extra passive, which is what makes it worth it. Though his 3 and 5 really aren't too good, so like there's not really a reason for this. I would rather just go for the A1. But let's go ahead and rewind and talk about the A0. Now the A0 is called I will be kind in, or at least kind to the strong here. Now his A0 is pretty darn good. Pretty much at the start of the battle, he's able to give off this said stack that allows him to build up defense related percentage, being at least 12%, plus the amount of at least extra base defense. Now this base defense will at least scale off of his level. So if you're level 1, you get 120. If you're level 50, you get 240. And if you're level 70 and above, you get 360. Alongside of this here, it's going to be allowed to give a shield as an upright mark, in which whenever he does gain a valor, which is a stack that he does have inside of his kit here, you're going to get really, I'm going to say valor quite a lot. So you're going to actually get really acquainted to at least that term with this here. Once you gain an amount of valor, which is something that he ends up stacking, whenever you have at least 1, your allies will have at least 1 upright mark, and if they are attacked, they can get up to 2 valor, and they can have that per turn. Pretty much once you actually consume 4 of these valor stacks, you're able to gain justice oath, and this gives everyone an upright mark. Now all of this stuff is kind of weird, because for upright mark itself, pretty much it's just a shield. That's all you need to know. So once you of course consume valor, aka his random stack that he does have, you get the shield for 3 turns. That's the best way to say it here. And then of course, if you do have justice oath, this allows you to at least use one of your extra moves, and you actually get an additional effect on that extra move, which is nice to actually have. The whole deal with him is, you need to know, you get stacks, divide by your health bar, use it once you get at least 3 or 4, boom, big shield. That's all you need to really know. And you just keep rinsing and repeating for this character. It's pretty darn nice, especially when you pair it with at least his passives here, because he's a defender at heart. So when it comes down to defending, he has it down lock and key. Just a little bit of his kit is kind of messed up to at least extent, and that's mainly because of against what's it called, bosses. It can be kind of messed up, but really the whole point of him is just to sit there and just defend your whole team. So to be honest, the kit's actually pretty darn fine. But we're gonna go ahead and take a look at his skills here, and the ones that we want to go ahead and look at is going to be at least the passives first. Now the passives, immediately being sacrifice and humility, are allowing you to pretty much get your defense up, which is nice whenever you have a shield. And then this one actually gives you effect res. So not only is he able to defend you with nice defense stats, a shield, but he's also getting effect res. So anything that could possibly damage you, he's immediately negating, which is absolutely amazing for a standard character. As I did say, this character isn't bad whatsoever. He's actually supremely good. It's just we really don't have much content for at least a defender, and that's what makes things a little bit more complicated. Now when it does come down to his main kit, the main things that you're really going to be trying to use is at least his skill 3 and skill 2. Of course, you will utilize his skill 1 every now and again, and that's mainly because it does have a chance to freeze, meaning of course you can decrease the enemy's attack. Though really skill 3 and skill 2 are just going to be your bread and butter for the most part. You just really want to focus on that. Now if you're with certain people such as like Fox, you really want to use the skill 2 first, then the skill 3, mainly because Fox does need that additional defense before he actually gets up the plate. So if you're able to at least increase his defense and give him that shield as fast as possible, it does help him out in the long run. But going back to at least talking about Cherish here, skill 3 and skill 2 are his main bread and butter, and that's the reason for this, because with the skill 3, you're not only getting yourself at least a shield out of it here, which is absolutely amazing, as I did say earlier, but you're also giving yourself holy protection. Now holy protection is another new term here, in which by having this here, shields can take up to some damage for 3 whole turns. So just know that whenever you have this, you can have at least a nice old shield that's going to be very beefy for 3 whole turns, which is actually nice. And then of course it only consumes a little bit of shield if you do get attacked. This shield is going to be strong. It's going to be really strong. He puts like these mirrors, ice mirrors, I would like to call them, pretty much around you, and it's pretty darn cool to be honest with this character. And with this in mind, not only are you able to have this shield, but it also makes it so you can't get down. So as you see, it has 1 down gauge here. Whenever an enemy tries to knock you, well, that takes away that 1 gauge. It doesn't actually allow them to knock you, at least until of course it takes down all the gauges there. Allowing you as well to increase your damage at the end of this, which is absolutely amazing. So you got that mixture of shield, defense, you have a ton of things that keep you from getting knocked down with the down gauge, plus you're getting yourself increased damage based on the amount of defense you have for 2 whole turns. So the third skill, as you can see, is going to be your main bread and butter, and that's going to be what you really want to of course get up. As for the next skill here, that's going to be honor protection here, in which this one is a mixture of kind of what we have down below, but a little different here. You're increasing of course your defense, you have a nice old shield, you get upright mark, which can help you out with more defending. You increase your defense further as well based on his own defense that he does have. So higher his defense stat, the higher your defense will be and higher your shield will be. Absolutely amazing. But the only downside to this, it is a single target buff. Unlike this one, which is an AoE buff to all allies, this is a single target buff, so it's only helping out 1 person. But it does also give them a taunt. So if you're anyone like at least Yusuke or a character that wants to at least take some of the damage here, it technically gives you a taunt, or at least a 50% chance to at least have a taunt here if your HP is above 60%, which is absolutely amazing. Alongside of this, of course, you are able to get another upright mark, helping you defend more. And then if you actually have Justice Oath, it actually increases the shield from the upright mark that you have by 25%, which is absolutely amazing as well, making you really tanky and allowing you to pretty much just make sure you don't die at all and protect the rest of your team. He's really a good team player character, just to be honest, as I did say. The man just doesn't have a good fit right now, and that's kind of like a lot of defenders and healers inside of this game, which hopefully they kind of evolve on and at least slowly make viable. Because I'm being honest with you guys, that's the only thing I would have a little bit of an issue with this actual thing here. Now, as for his weapon, is it worth it? Is it not? To be honest, you can actually use his 4-star weapon. It's not really too crazy to go for the 5-star weapon. His 4-star weapon isn't too bad. It just helps you out with the shield potential. And additionally, if the shield is below, if it does shield as well allies who are below 60% based on their HP by 13.7%, which is actually pretty darn nice. To be honest, you don't have to worry too much about survivability. his whole ordeal is for survival. So if you just don't want to get the 5-star weapon, don't worry, the 4-star weapon is more than enough. Though if you do have the chance to get his 5-star weapon, it is pretty much so worth it. It's actually pretty nice, just not a must summon character, or at least a must summon weapon itself. The main reason I say this is really nice because the character itself is based off defense. Well, the main thing that this weapon does give is that defense increase stat. Unlike at least the 4-star where you get no defense increase, you only get shield increase, which isn't really bad. This gives you the defense increase by 45%, allows you to then increase the shield from the upright mark by 30%. So now you have a hand-in-hand defense and the shield increase. And it not only allows you to deal even more damage with the at least upright mark on every ally. So the more upright marks you have on each ally, you get a damage bonus, which can stack up to 2 times. So he gives you a ton of survivability while also packing a little bit of that damage in there as well. So it makes the 5-star worth it, though I wouldn't say worth it enough to go ahead and just outright summon for it. If you get it by losing your pity, or if you can get it out of a selection ticket, that would be probably better for at least your gems. And I would say that would definitely be worth it. It's nothing to really cry about if you actually do get this weapon. Though the 4-star should be pretty darn decent for you guys. I did end up testing this at least a long time ago, especially when he first came out. 4-star weapon did him very well, but you will definitely notice a difference once you get that 5-star weapon. Now, of course, that we've talked about at least the weaponry here and talked about all of that things here, let's go ahead and actually show off the character and how his animations do look. So when it comes down to at least his animations, he's really cool. He has like a whole Frosty aesthetic to him. Even his AOA is actually really awesome. I actually might start adding that into the end of the video, so just doing a cut to it. But the AOA actually looks really cool. A lot of his moves are freaking awesome, and once he's actually paired with Fox, or even paired with at least Mont as well, you have a lot of fun utilizing the character. So I definitely would say he's a really awesome guy. Now we do of course have him at the front of this, so I'm gonna make sure that gets taken off. But as I did say, if you are with Fox, there are a few things that you want to go ahead and do. Fox himself, you do want to put at least a skill 2 down so you can actually keep him defended for when it is his turn. My Fox is actually very high up on the mark right now, but that's mainly because he does need to get off that what's it called, that counter, so it's not really going to hurt you. But the whole deal is to have at least skill 2, go into skill 3, and rinse and repeat. His first skill you don't use too much, but we're still going to show it for the video wise. So first skill, just to showcase it for at least the what's it called, the follow-up here, it looks something like that. And then of course his follow-up looks something like this here. So if we go ahead and pop that off, he shoots a little bit of an ice chunk at you, and it does a little bit of damage. So we're gonna go ahead and just do this here, because we don't really want to kill anything here. I do want to show off everything to make sure you guys actually can see. But as you can see, we're also getting those stacks I was talking about right beside his face, which the more of these stacks he does get, the better. This is going to allow him to pretty much just be a nuisance. And as you see, he can go on this little mode, which in totality is what it helps him do so much more, or at least his Justice Oath, as well as his Valor here. So essentially, we've stacked up our actual Valor. We're now in Justice Oath mode, and this is going to allow us to get as much shield as possible. So go ahead and show off the skill 3 so you guys can actually see how much he actually shields for. And as you can see, everyone gets a huge shield amount, being about 8k, and actually I think that's kind of low, seeing my Cherish is built kind of badly. But 8k here, everyone's looking very beefy, and of course we got a ton of buffs off of that as well. So if we go ahead and do something like this, you guys will see how much damage these regular mobs will do, which of course is nothing too surprising, seeing that regular mobs at the end of the day is all they are, so they're not going to do too much. But you guys can kind of see exactly what's going on. Now we ended up getting knocked, but Yusuke took care of that man, so it does kind of even out, I guess you could say. But now that we at least got this out of the way here, we can now show at least the skill 2 looking something like this. And as I did say, it makes it so the enemy can now like target them a little bit more, or has a 50% chance of targeting them. So we go ahead and use the skill 2. It gives them a couple stacks. They are now able to be targeted, in which Yusuke himself already kind of gives himself off as a target anyways if I decided to do his counter attack. But you guys will get to see this. As you see, Yusuke ended up taking a little bit of that there, in which they decided to focus him. Now, when it does come down to his actual, not highlight, his highlight, oh yeah, highlight. I almost said showtime. When it comes down to his actual highlight here, he does a little bit of this, and it immediately puts a defense protection up, which is actually pretty darn cool, giving you a ton of shield immediately here and just allowing you to continue your way on through the entire time. I like it. He's a freaking awesome character, pretty darn cool, and has a lot for him just going on. I do hope that in the future that they decide to what's it called, that they actually do decide to make us use our defenders a little bit more than what they're being used for now. But we're gonna go ahead and go on back and just have my final thoughts about this character. So one of the few things I do have to say, he's an amazing unit. He's awesome. He's a crazy awesome unit here. And I do wish that we get that more defensive side of things, that we actually can use him. He's not bad whatsoever. Absolutely goated type character. My only deal with him is, since we have no place to use him, he's kind of obsolete. Though, don't worry, he's not a limited character. He is a standard unit. So at the end of the day, if you do get him, you're going to get him pretty quickly, and it's not going to really be a bad thing. It's just another character to go inside of your glossary, which is always nice, because then of course you can level them up and get more rewards from it as well. But that's all I have to say about this character. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, smash that like button and consider subscribing. But peace out, you guys.